For more on the other political ramifications, let's turn to our own Richard Wolff. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening, Keith.
All right, last month, Senator Schumer sent this letter to the White House that urged the officials there to exercise this clause in any stimulus package that would allow it to tell the governors like Republican governors like Sanford and Jindal and Perry that they either accept the stim funding as it is been passed, by the way, this isn't just somebody's idea, this is law, or not take it at all. Why would the administration not choose to go down that route? Why are they in that position now where these tin pot tyrants of the individual states can say, well, no, I'm going to redirect $700 million to something of my own pet project?
Well, believe me, there are plenty of people in the West Wing and also in the Democratic Party in Washington who would like to have seen that kind of thing happen. And there's a lot of satisfaction in playing that kind of politics. The problem is it may seem petty at a time when people in these states need help. But on a political level, there are also a lot of benefits from watching these Republican governors have to explain to their own folks in their own states why they're turning away federal money at a time when there's so much suffering back home. So this is not an easy position for these Republican governors to take or explain. And more to the point, there are people in South Carolina who have taken federal dollars for years. South Carolina has been one of the biggest pork barrel benefit states for many decades, and nobody has ever said in South Carolina, well, we don't want your defense dollars because it's based on high federal debt or deficit spending. So this is the kind of politics that is extremely hard for these Republican governors to pull off. And by the way, any kind of punitive measures may well have alienated the other Republican governors who gave this White House political cover, people like Schwarzenegger and Crist. So a complicated balance there.
Away from South Carolina and to the stock market, when Wall Street has a bad day or a bad month or a bad hour, it has been declared Obama's fault, even for the period when he had not yet been elected president but was merely a nominee. But a good week, and we're talking about bank stocks going up 40% this week. A good week, nobody's even going to talk about it, let alone give him possible credit for it. Have I established the ground rules on this?
Pretty much, yeah. Look, it's crazy to punish a president for declines in the stock market, and it's idiotic to give them benefits, but you should be consistent whether it goes down or up if you're going to lay all the blame or give the benefit to a president. As a president, frankly, you don't want your performance to be judged by the stock market because it is volatile. In any case, as we've seen, the stock market is not a good measure of how the economy is doing, never mind how a president is doing. Presidents should be measured on whether jobs are being created and real incomes are going up. That's the kind of long-term measure, but to assign negativity or positivity based on 1 week or even 1 year or 1 decade of the stock market is insane.
What about those political ramifications for these governors, what I just mentioned to Congressman Clyburn? Is there potential for recall, impeachment, somebody standing up and going, no, the citizens would like to have the stimulus money, thank you, Governor?
I think the real political danger for these guys, especially people like Jindal and Sanford, who have clearly got an eye on national politics, is that they're trying too hard and they're really in an untenable political position here. They may be speaking to a core base in their own states, but even geographically they're not speaking to Republicans everywhere. So for Perry, who is up for re-election, who isn't term limited, he's going to face some trouble here explaining it, especially if the economy stays bad. But Sanford and Jindal really have got to think, does this strategy make sense? Apart from a Republican primary, what kind of platform does it lead to in national politics?
Richard Wolff of MSNBC, great thanks as always, and as always, have a great weekend.
Thank you, and you, Keith.